Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin, and The Last of Us Episode 4 is out on HBO Max right now. Sorry for the little late review for this one. Been busy, couldn't do it, so this one's coming out a little bit late. But Episode 5 is coming out on Friday, and I'll be more prepared for that one. So a review for that will go up Saturday, possibly Saturday morning. We'll see when I get around to doing that. Really excited. But we're going to be talking about Episode 4. Episode 4, that's going to take spoilers. If you guys are new part of the series, these episode reviews will contain spoilers of the episode and sort of minor spoilers of the game. Now, there's certain stuff in this that are part of the game story, but aren't. So I'm going to be sort of like talking about the difference between it, but not going any further than what this episode does. So just kind of like a little minor warning for anyone. But yeah, let's get right into the review. So far, I've been really enjoying the Last of Us series. Episode 1 was great. Episode 2 was great. Episode 3 I enjoyed a lot, even though that it was a sort of sidestep of the story, and a lot of people, and I can understand people's reasons not liking it. But I did enjoy the story of Frank and Bill and all that, and seeing the outside world of the apocalypse, and just basically what that dealt with, and what it's also symbolizing in the future of Joel and Ellie. Which in this episode we focus more back on Joel and Ellie after they find out that Bill and Frank are dead. They're moving on to Kansas City. In the game, it's Pittsburgh. I think the only reason why they changed this is because geographically. That minor change isn't really a big deal, but it's kind of like a cool thing. It's like, okay, you know what? In the game, you're in Pittsburgh, but in the show, we're going to be in Kansas. Something new, something like a different type of environment. It's nice. And what's a major different change in this episode is basically the humans in the show that are running the Kansas City, like in the game, like the people in Pittsburgh. They have a little bit more human side to them, or like they're a little bit more fleshed out than in the game. But we'll get to them later. But yeah, we pick up with Joel and Ellie, and basically Joel and Ellie are this is basically just a bonding episode. This is really nothing but bonding. Nothing really significant really happens, like big enough as this episode. And a lot of people are calling it slow, which I can see, but I still even enjoyed it while it's even slow, while we're building these characters. And literally Ellie is just making jokes, and she has her stupid little like bad joke book that is from the game. And it's pretty funny. There's a couple of funny jokes in there, and even Joel laughed about it. And so like those little like memorabilia are really cool, and those little Easter eggs for the fans is really nice. And speaking of like Easter eggs, there's one joke in the show where Ellie finds a nude magazine, and the joke is like, oh, why are they stuck together? I felt like that was a little bit rushed, not gonna lie. I feel like certain parts in this episode, directing wise, were very, very executed badly, and that it doesn't really degrade the show at all. It's just very noticeable, like the way that the performance are portrayed in certain scenes, that like they felt like they were told to, all right, we gotta do this fast. Just do it, and move on. Literally, the joke scene with the magazine is like, all right, oh, why are they stuck there? I'm just fucking with you, and throws them out immediately. And I get in the game, it's not really that significant thing. It's like, all right, this isn't a game, and let's please the fans with this joke. It's like that's what it felt like, and so. And another scenario with that is when Joel and Ellie are finally arriving to Kansas City, and when the guy comes out and he's pretending to be hurt, and Joel is like, all right, put your seatbelt on, and type of deal. That part I don't have a problem with, but after they crash, is like, literally, I don't know about the directing or the editing side of that. When they crash, Joel is like, all right, are you okay? Like no instant, like, kind of somewhat recovery, because I feel like if you're like crashing into something, you're kind of like a little, what's the word? I guess nauseating. I guess like you're a little bit confused, and it's like trying to there wasn't no process, and they're like immediately get out of the truck. It's probably like fight or flight reflexes, but I don't know. I just didn't really like that execution. But and next we get to like basically the whole entire meat of the episode where also Joel teaches Ellie how to use a gun, which Ellie from the last episode steals a gun from Frank and Bill, and that comes back into play. In the show, Joel isn't really mad at her. It's not in the game. He's like it's a little bit more of a different situation. He's kind of mad that she didn't stay where she was, and it wasn't about a gun or anything like that. Here it was like, all right, you know what? I have a gun. I'm gonna shoot this guy because he's gonna kill you, and you're gonna find out that I had a gun this whole entire time. He's kind of like he knew. It's like, all right, he understands, but the only reason why he didn't allow her to take a gun is because she's a kid, and it's like, understand. It's just like you just really understand these characters full on, and a lot of people are getting annoyed with Elliot constantly disobeying Joel, which I can see why. I understand the gun holds her thing where she asks like the gun point, can I have a gun like 20 times. That I can understand. But I saw one is that when she hides the gun in her pocket, it's like she's a kid, like any kid would honestly do this, and so I can let some minor things like that to go. I kind of rolled my eyes at it, but I never really thought about it too much. It's like it's probably going to come back into play again, and it's not going to really be that big of a factor. It's just that she's a kid. She's like, you know what? We're in a situation where I need to shoot a guy. I might need to do it again, so I'm not going to put it in my bag just in case. Like kids think about that type of stuff, and they think guns are cool, and so it's like, I feel much more of a badass to put in my pocket. It sort of derails the episode for me. Is this new character named not Kathy, but Catherine, who is played by Marlene Lindsay. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name. And she's this leader of this group who took over the Kansas City. It was run by the Fed, like the government. They all overthrew it, and she's like sort of the leader. The thing is, I don't buy her as a leader. Now, yes, the only thing that makes her intimidating is that she has this capability to tell all of these people to basically go find whoever's killed our men. She had that's scary, but her performance I didn't really like. I didn't like her acting that much. She sounded like she was like acting like a school play out, and it felt very wooden from her performance. I didn't like it that much because and what was supposed to really show off like, oh, she's a badass, or like she's dangerous, is shooting the guy that's in the crate. Really, when we need to probably see a little bit more, especially in her performance. It's what didn't really buy that much was her performance, and it kind of really hurts that because she's supposed to be intimidating. I just don't find her that much intimidating. I kind of find her, funny, to be honest. And what's also different from the game is that I guess Henry has some form of what happened to her past, something with her brother. We don't know that much yet. In the game, Henry and Sam were more of like passers who came upon Pittsburgh, and they kind of got themselves in this situation. Now there might be somewhat in some form the same thing. We don't know yet. We'll have to wait for episode 5. But that overall kind of like, I was like, I don't really like the performance from you, and you're supposed to be somewhat the antagonist for the next episode, for this episode and the next episode. It was really cringeworthy. And so basically the way the episode ends is with Joel sleeping with and Ellie telling another joke, and Joel finally kind of like opening him up and warming up to him, and it's really awesome. It's cute, and it's just really heartwarming, and I really like that. And the episode ends with Joel basically waking up to Sam pointing a gun at him, and that's fine. And the game, they kind of like sort of like get ambushed. It's like however they met, it doesn't really matter. But I'm really excited for the next episode, because the next episode is where everything goes down. Because they also set up, they also mention that that the infected also basically evolve underground through vines, and we see like this crater that's sort of like breathing alive. And so I'm pretty sure there's a shot from the trailer. I'm not going to say what the shot, but you see, certain things come up from the ground. And so I think that's what this scene, the next episode is going to show off, which is really exciting because that shot in the trailer looked amazing. And I'm really excited. I enjoyed this, but I think this is a weaker episode. I did enjoy the Joel and Ellie moments. I thought they grew pretty well. I see their growth, and their bond is really good. I really did enjoy it, and the pacing is fine. It's just certain edit moments and directing decisions. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, and how weak portray of this new antagonist. So just the execution really kind of hurts this episode that much, and it's kind of sort of like brings it down on the scale when we had like 3 great episodes. I'm gonna give The Last of Us episode 4 a B+. Still enjoyed it. I did enjoy it a lot. It's just that it wasn't really executed as well. But I am really excited for the setup for the next episode, which be ready for that review on Saturday. Can't wait. Let me know what you guys thought of episode 4 of The Last of Us down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys' thoughts on the series so far. Thank you guys so much for the support so far on the series. Like, this is like one of the highest grosses that this channel has done on the from a series in general, and it's really awesome that you guys enjoy hearing my thoughts. And it's awesome to read your guys' comments and like see, have different opinions on things. It's really cool. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.